Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi,
Oksana.
Sam.
Hi, Marty.
Hi,
Hi.
Marty.
So today we are, chatting from three different places. I'm basically based in Reading, and you, Oksana, in
In Chicago.
Marty.
I'm in London.
Fantastic. Okay, so we are close but distant. We with a little bit miles, and with Oksana is from USA. Okay, guys, the topic we're going to talk in today about self-healing energies and the tips for people that experiences lot of changes these days, especially with their own body, emotionally as well. So, who's the first?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Margie, do you want to start or?
Yeah,
We all have
uh,
different kind of modalities. I mean, a little bit because everybody views it, in a different personal way, right? Based on the personal experiences and abilities. But what do you think? I mean, I can tell you my story. My story starts in 2016 when I had this awakening in the summer, and then I decided to explore a little was my in my subconscious, So I scheduled the session with this one regressologist, well known here. She lives in Miami. She came to Chicago. We did a session, and I discovered that I have this rainbow energy in me, which is healing, mostly in my hand. That I can concentrate it on the hands, and I've actually had it for years. I could hear in my head when my kids would be. Sick, that Oksana, you can heal with your hands, use them. But I would always ignore because, when you are asleep, you don't really believe that. Uh, yeah, but I always had this funny feeling like I had to not do it through any method, create my own, out of my own imagination, my own energies, like a creator. And so I pretty much what I do, I notice now, it happens very, it's like you go by intuition. When I do this regressive hypnosis sessions and I feel like the person is really traumatized and we have to continue the work in the astral after the session is done. So before I go to sleep, I automatically go to those people and check on them, and if I feel that they got some problem, then I would get back to close to them. We would connect through hands, or I would touch the energy sphere on certain points, power points, and they would just like forward the energy to them. But it's in the astral, and I know it helps because they actually tell me, they without even knowing I do it, that they feel better. So I think it's like an ongoing thing that people may not realize that that's what we do because we do care, afterwards too.
yeah. I mean, it sounds fair enough, and I feel that with our own energy, when it's definitely we trust our energy and we can tune in, I think we can self-heal ourselves with, even some uncomfortable pain. Sometimes when I have stomach ache, I imagine that I have something like, the last time was like I had like a hot brick boiling in my stomach. And then I
Mhm.
imagine, okay, I put some fresh water and basically I cool down this brick and then I remove like a little
Mhm.
implant and I basically I squash this brick in my hands, becomes sand, and I threw to this black hole, this portal. And to be honest, after a few minutes, I feel
It
good.
works. Yeah.
So, I mean, the power of mind and the
Yeah.
conviction that we put in our, own power can be quite,
Intention and belief.
yes,
Hmm.
yeah. So, Marty, what do you think?
Yeah, that's all makes sense. I can bring my own experiences from Reiki. Well, particularly interesting recently, I have this small benign cancer has been sort of checked and had various scans, ultrasound, and so on. First appeared a couple of years ago. And cancer is really interesting, and I think I've found this as a special challenge for myself, because you cannot use Reiki, the healing modality I use. You cannot use Reiki on cancer. What's unusual about cancer, and most people don't even know this, it is overgrowth of cells. That is the problem. It's not exactly it's not like most other illnesses. It's overgrowth. So it means that some part of your body is growing more than it should actually, and why that makes it the nemesis. We call it the nemesis of Reiki. Is Reiki makes things grow. The first summer after I got tuned as a Reiki master, I grew sunflowers in my garden, and these particular type of sunflowers are supposed to grow 7 feet tall. Now, after I planted them, I sent them Reiki every day, and they ended up growing 14 feet tall.
Ah.
So this is the power of Reiki, to my personal experience, that it makes things grow a lot. So, bringing this back to cancer. If you use Reiki on cancer, the cancer goes berserk and grows really big, really fast. I stumbled across this by accident. I was sending Reiki to a friend, and she'd been talking about health problems on Facebook. Well, I hadn't seen when she'd mentioned that she had suspected cancer. So I was sending her Reiki for migraines for a week, during which time her cancer went berserk for a week. It was really fast. Now, I didn't know. And then luckily I saw her talking about problems with the cancer, and I was like, you didn't mention the cancer. And of course, now that is the top of the checklist. If I'm going to send Reiki to anybody, then I must know if there's any problems with cancer or leukemia, any overgrowth, overdevelopment type illnesses. So
Autoimmune, like
yes, tumors, that kind of thing. These are all things growing too big, too fast.
at rapid speed, yeah.
Yes. So these are the things that need to be watched out for with Reiki specifically. I don't know how other modalities find cancer to deal with. But yeah, I was meditating with a Power of Eight group yesterday. We meditate together and we sort of send intentions to various ideas, various sort of incidents around the world. A Power of Eight group can work together in meditation for all kinds of things. So they've it's something that's been shared by Lynn McTaggart, who's a journalist. She has groups on Facebook talking about the Power of Eight, and so they have done meditations to reduce crime rate in particular areas. I think Chicago was one of the first places they did that, and basically, because she's looking to get details and statistics on each situation, she actually analyzes the statistics available from the police or from fire services or whichever area they're working in. And it always works. When they do meditation, they normally have a group of 50 or 100 people together. And that is noticed to have a bigger effect when they have a larger group. And so it does. I mean, they did a meditation to reduce conflicts in Syria. I think that was a couple of summers ago, and they actually watched the data of what was actually happening in the area at the time, and it was seen that the meditation had an effect every time that the problems would reduce. So so often the Power of Eight groups use the intentions to do healing for various people, and this is has been seen to be very effective on anybody who has cancer and asks for help with the Power of Eight groups. So yeah, I got some help with this yesterday, and while we were meditating for about 10 minutes that they sent to me specifically, and when it had been hot and quite firm the beginning of yesterday, by the end of the meditation it had shrunk and gone and cooled. And I could feel it whilst meditating. It felt like there were people standing around me with hands on my shoulders and one finger brushing gently at this bump, and so quite an amazing session. So yeah, that's my experience with this. There are ways around the difficulty with Reiki. Yeah, it does have a nemesis, and so we have to be careful about. And that has to be, it's the first contraindication basically with Reiki is cancer of any kind. So yeah, that's my experience with self-healing, and on this is my present sort of research area, is finding out about cancer and how to deal with that. So yeah,
I was thinking, you guys, if you can channel about this, what I'm starting to, I was listening to you both. It's possible through Reiki, I mean, this powerful energy that we have um, to regress in the beginning of, example, your nodule. It starts because of, for a reason, yeah? And it's possible using this energy to basically to burn with this powerful healing, to burn the roots of, example,
You can
this. Yeah,
reverse the
I mean,
process.
I know I understand what you say, because when the cancer is already on tumor, yes, I feel what you say is can be very dangerous, because we can amplify the energy. But if we regress, example, I focus on Mardi just 2 days before that this little seed started to grow. So we're
right.
going to do 2 days before to see what's happened to you 2 days before, and avoid or take it out of the seed, or maybe the energy of the seed, to find, attachment. And why, I mean, I don't know, maybe you had a bad day, maybe it was poorly,
Yeah,
maybe there
the
is
source
something. Yeah,
cause
the source, basically.
the
I don't know what you
feeling.
guys thinking, if it's possible, what you can channel about
Yeah.
that.
I feel like when you were talking about it, I remembered my grandmother. She was a doctor, and she had a tumor in her breast, and it was pretty big. But she read somewhere, she used to say pretty much that placebo effect is the effect of the power of the soul. But she would use different instruments, like she believed in herbs. And what she would do, she would slice the beets, right? Or squeeze the juice, put the juice on the cabbage leaf and put it on the breast. In a month, the tumor was gone, medical miracle.
Wow.
And when she was telling me this, when my mother was sick, my mother didn't have this determination and this belief in her. My mother, passed of cancer too. But my grandma never developed, her tumor never grew back, because she said, Oksana, there's a difference. I believed 100% that this beet juice would dissimulate, disperse, they would make it shrink and it would go down to zero. She believed. Our belief is everything. We mold this reality. We fix ourselves. You don't even need to use any, like for me, I don't need to use Reiki or any other. I feel like my personal energy field, I just can concentrate the energy and shoot it like with my eyes closed in the spot I need to heal on my body. But everybody's a creator, so everybody can believe and use whatever technique or instrument he wants to. What is important is the end result, right?
Yes, I think so. The one more you believe, you trust yourself, that you are powerful, that you are your own creator, and you put this conviction. Yes, especially when probably not only early stages, but even like the example of your grandma, which she was definitely quite strong lady, and sometimes is even the part of ourselves, that how much we want to heal, how much you believe in yourself.
Right.
If you are interfered or distracted, or maybe you really are skeptical about the techniques, about energy, because we are energy at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to use our energy. We have to don't let our energy waste, especially when we are angry, when we are sad, when we have a bad day, when we have an accident or traumas. Our energy basically is like goes down. This is what I feel, you know. It's like instead of 100%, I always have this scale. And then you are, oh, today maybe I have 20 or 30% left, less in my body. So maybe I'm 70% of energy today. And still this affect. So because you see a person is low, even
Mm.
when you're just exhausted, you're tired, and the body needs to recharge the batteries. And many people, they, without to be conscious, basically they do through using, I don't know, techniques, art, sport, entertainment. Okay, but imagine, because they find this stimulating for the body. Imagine if you believe that you are here, the own source is here, you can anyway you can use from here the source.
Yeah, it's all
Okay,
about the belief. It's
yeah.
truly like, you deal with clients too. Like those who come out of the session strong, believing in themselves, they always have perfect results. Those who start checking on the spot, is it still hurting or is it not? Why? And then they're writing, why is it still hurting? Or it's less, but it's still, and that's what this doubt, it just cancels everything. It just destroys, like a destruction force for the results.
Exactly. Yeah. You guys, do you have any tips to give to the audience that is watching us, to how to start, the people that they're curious to how to use their own energy? What is the first steps? First, to believe in themselves, obviously, but even the people that they are a bit skeptical, how they can start to they use their own power.
Yeah, little things, right? Just little manifestations, little like my head is hurting, but maybe if I've done this before actually. I would fill up the tub and would just like immerse myself, program the water with my mind. Okay, you're gonna take away my headache. Would just like
Wow.
put my head inside and stay there like as much as I could. And like you immerse it, something about the hot water also relaxes, and it just like it would stay that way. It would take any pain away.
Mhm.
And then I realized, hey, I don't need these instruments. Let me try just like you lay down, close my eyes, imagine see my energy body. First you imagine, because if you tell yourself, well, I can't see it, you'll never see it. Then
Mhm.
use your imagination. Imagination is the power that is the instrument that your soul uses too. So, and that they want us to believe imagination is nothing, just kid stuff, dragons and all this. But yeah, use your imagination. Imagine your energy hands take your pain away, form or something, a snowball out of it, throw it in the portal. You can draw a portal in the wall, throw it out, or transform it into love, into make it into a bird, a butterfly, whatever. Make it fly away. Yeah, it's kind of like a process. It's almost like a process that you go through, entropy of your own, get to understand more and more how it works. I feel like you have to go through all the stages most of the
Mhm.
time
Yes,
um, to
Mm.
understand.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, I come from the holistic healing perspective, and we start understanding of medicine with the word dis-ease, which is it's like we call it a purloined letter. It's a thing that's hidden right out there in public. Um, so doctors use this word disease a lot, but until you break it in half and go dis-ease, so it basically means someone's not relaxed enough is why they get ill. like they're not happy enough. And so it kind of points to the fact that all physical illness starts with a mental or emotional unhappiness. And basically, that emotion or repeated thoughts get locked somewhere in the body. And there's a lot of wisdom about like the location of a physical disease and that telling a story about where the problem comes from emotionally. So, okay, so for example, I've been working with and someone gave me some healing for this cancer maybe a month ago, and it definitely shifted things. And they were oriented on my throat chakra, which is about communication, allowing emotions to flow. The problem I always used to have, certainly through my teens, is I never cried. For about 10 years, I never cried at all. And it was useful to me to have that sort of sense of strength, but it was also non-flowing energy. And everything needs to flow to be alive, to be, connected to the universe. You must let all your energies flow, all your emotions need an outlet. So one of the perspectives on cancer is it's locked anger. And that makes sense to me, that maybe I need to express anger a bit more. I tend to be gentle with people. And so maybe there's some accumulated anger. I'm trying to work out how it's accumulated so much, especially in terms of I'm always looking to keep the energy flowing. But yeah, those are two areas I definitely need to research a lot more because I don't know much about the throat chakra. It's never been an area of interest. So this might be for that purpose, to make me understand throat chakras, and emotional communication and telepathy is supposed to come from there. And I don't really have much telepathy, but I get occasional flashes of it. I've done in the last month or so. So I think there's a lot of tuning in that I need to do. Feelings and senses, I often say to people, emotions can be used to sort of measure the universe around you at various levels. So again, that's another level I need to open up to. What can anger be a sense? Is it a way of protecting yourself from potential dangers? And is that what's getting forward? Maybe I live in a place that's too safe. Maybe I need to get out on the savannah somewhere where there are lions or snakes or dangerous creatures, where my more aggressive energy could be a functional thing. It might be I'm too safe in my little box in London. So yeah, many perspectives.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, emotions are the cause for all the diseases or conditions. I agree with you, because that's what we do in sessions, right, Ephesia?
Yes.
We go to the cause, how it started, and then we try to, well, there's so many causes. I mean, sometimes a client has a lot of implants that would stimulate the anger issues, would amplify it, would cause it, right? But other times you can have a disincarnated stuck in your body too, who resonated with you at some point towards your emotion, hooked up to you. Basically, they hook up to you via emotion or mental thoughts. That's why we cleanse the mental and emotional bodies in the sessions, because you need to be clean and flowy, right? Free, like flowy energy, in order not to, and be in this balance, in this relaxed state. That's exactly what you said. So I agree totally. It just, there are different causes why you produce this or that emotion too.
Yeah. I was very interested as well, even the power of telepathy, even to fix things between people, because again, when somebody feel that the hatred feelings towards somebody, you produce emotionally a disease as well. It's a disease, and you are sending telepathically to the person this emotion. And if the person is very empathic, I think he can feel it. What do you think, Marty? Because you wrote a very interesting book that you can have a fantastic, beautiful you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's about the toxic people and empathic people, sociopathic, narcissist, psychopathic, and
Right.
I can telepathically with the people that are cut off emotionally, that they don't feel, that they just they self. I think they are very strong in somehow because they don't feel affected. You understand? Because they don't feel
Yeah.
like an empathic person, and but they still can probably I think vibrationally to be affected of external entities with the disease, the disincarnated that he was mentioning.
Right.
Okay, because they're not empathic, so somehow they have to let entity in their body
Resonate.
because they are producing bad things. Bad thing is always the result of bad result in your body. But the empathic most of the time produce in self this disease and the plus or everything that is external because they suffer if a friend is healed, they suffer if a friend is suffering. I mean, and the power of the telepathy. I'm reading a book right now. It's very interesting. That if he is it very important. This is my opinion, obviously, that we ground ourselves, especially when we're going to bed. And you
Mhm.
suggested to me always, Mardi, that is very very important because we receive almost the most night abduction is during our trips in our dreams, and our
Right.
body is without protection. Anybody can come. Oh, look at that, because your mind is traveling. It's not looking after you.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, when you start talking about the abductions and night dreams, do you see that too with Ephesia, with the lights and like she's almost like,
And they're being expressed in the digital form. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, you're like in a digital form with all kinds of flowers all over your face.
Maybe it's
Yeah. Yeah.
because the background.
No, 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 no. You start talking about it. It attracts those who manipulate us when our body is asleep, for sure.
Yeah.
And at some point, looking backwards, like you can connect all the dots looking back, but never forward. You know who said that? Whoever said that, I don't remember, but looking back, Steve Jobs said you can always connect the dots looking backwards, right?
Mhm.
At some point, you get to the understanding after you wake up that to keep yourself balanced and at ease, not diseased, you can't think of anybody in negative, form or shape or whatever. I mean, it just comes naturally. It comes so naturally that to keep yourself balanced, you have to keep yourself. It's not that I told myself you cannot think of anybody. It became a natural biological state of being emotionally, mentally, to always kind of be kind to everybody, right? To always send them love, understanding, compassion, all the things, because when I send it to them, I feel that inside. It makes me blossom like a flower. You feel that feeling and you're like at ease and you love it. You're just
Yes.
bathing in those high vibrations. So, and at some point you think like, strange that I used to be able to even saying something negative about somebody when I was asleep. You know what I mean? I mean, at this point, you just don't understand how you were able to because you can't anymore, even.
Because you're not in control. When the mind is basically is the subconscious is working on its own. The consciousness stays in the
Right.
human body because is more grounded. It's not etherical or subliminal. So and the mind is as an individuality,
Yeah.
subconscious.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, wait, it's gone. So this is what's happening in the astral trips. This is where we go into different parallels, and sometimes we are we're doing things that he says, I can't do this in the reality. In the dream, sometimes I am a footballer. Sometimes I am somebody that is, hey, I was in a dream, I was a bully. Says,
Mm.
why? What a nasty piece I was. It was real me. It was just a fragment of a previous me, or is a
Right.
me in a parallel world, which is living, because telepathically, probably I connected with another Ephesian, maybe Ephesio, maybe one, which is a bully. Who knows? Because you don't have any uh, control of your soul. Your soul do things. It is split in different, what can I say, experiences.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's so many variations again. I mean, you can have clones and have visions or flashbacks from those
I
too.
can
It
say
doesn't
clones.
necessarily mean it's your fragment of yours. You can be powering the body of a cyborg
Or
with
maybe
your power, with your energy, and
Or
get
maybe
something from him.
maybe I connected with somebody. I went inside of his space or her space. I
Mm-hmm.
saw, I experienced like the telepath when we are in a session. And
Right,
you
right.
are not anymore Oksana, but you are one Jenny, one Ellison, one Mark, and you are just you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
project myself into different bodies. Yeah,
Yeah,
different parallels.
probably is the right explanation, because it doesn't nothing to do with me, but because I don't want to be like that anyway. It doesn't appeal. So this probably makes more sense, you know. At last we
Mm.
justify. Oh, thanks God, I'm not like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. All these colors are going around the physio, right? You see
Maybe
that too?
Absolutely.
I feel
It's just
it's here. Maybe it's the background how I move. Maybe look.
Here, I just want to tell to people who are gonna watch because I'm asked this almost in every video I make because I'm sitting in the closet hiding from my kids, okay? And I put this fake background and it's constantly moving behind. But Ephesia, you are this is something out of this world. What it's like a whale of flowers over your face and everywhere. It's
Wow,
like, yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's
yeah.
I don't
nice.
know what it is. Maybe
It
you
is.
are flying over there, channeling your subconscious, and you're not really here. That's why you're going digital,
To be
because you're part
honest,
of the matrix your body is.
yes. When I was speaking with you guys, I didn't think about this terminal before. Just boom, it's come to my mouth. I was listen to my voice, what I was about my basically layers of trips, you know, the parallel dimension,
Right.
and
Mhm.
is and probably somebody was telling me this to say this, but I now it's making even more sense because I did never thought like that, but the way I was speaking is like
Yeah, yeah.
pop-ups from my mouth,
You channel
and,
yourself. Yeah,
and probably I was, you know, which planet? Oops.
just flying over. I mean, I never connect
That
myself with
just
my body. I can't even look at myself in the videos. People don't know this, but this is truth, people. You're not the only ones who think that you are don't look well in the videos. I mean, I
I
can't.
don't look.
I look at myself. It's not me. You know what I feel? That's
Sometimes
like,
I look at myself. I say, "Oh my God, I don't like myself in the video." I tended to, you know, to put in the focus in the client when he's talking, or yeah, I don't know why.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It was Yeah, it's very nice actually. We covered a lot of topics, and I think you did channel because we totally played it by ear, and I think it put a lot of parts together, different perspectives together, so people can resonate.
mhm.
It was one of the
uh,
another or try one approach or the other, or all three of them.
exactly. Example in my readings, because you know, in my night job is reading cards, tarot cards. I often I channel with my clients, and especially I can feel all the suffering because the boyfriend, the exes, they don't contact them without a reason, and they are completely lost. And the reason of the channel, the telepathic exercise, which I ask always before I start a reading, is okay. I would like you close your eyes, take a long deep breathing, and imagine that the person that is in your mind now is sitting right now next to you, and you can hold his hand and squeeze quite tight or very strong, because I feel you are sending telepathically a message to the person of interest, okay? And most of the time, the client, when they recall me, because sometimes they believe, sometimes they are okay. Can you get straight to the point? I says, yes, but you want to know, yes, what he feels. And I can see in the cards exactly what the guy is feeling for that person. I have to be honest if they like or not. Obviously, I have to use the most gentle words as possible, because this person is not well, but has to accept if this person is right or wrong, because I'm just a tool. And this person says, he's not thinking about you right now because he has other things in his mind, but he loves me. I mean, he has feelings, but I can't call love, because if it was love, probably you didn't even thought to contact me tonight. After a month that this person is not contacting you, is refusing to answer you, because this person, it doesn't feel. Yes, can be angry. Yes, it probably has had an accident, but we are living in the 21st century, and we have all this technology possible to connect. So then what we have the last do, we connect with our mind telepathically.
Yeah, it's the best.
And often the client, they recontact me and they say, you know what? You just messaged me. After an hour, we ended up the call. Because you telepathically, you went, maybe in his dreams, maybe he was distracted in his soul, was drinking his coffee. Oh, Jenny, yeah, I have to contact her. It's like a feeling that is you don't know to describe. This is the recipient, okay? I
Right.
feel. Some people they feel, but I'm sure they feel something, and not necessarily they contact you, but they feel something. It's like the consciousness, because
Yeah.
many people they disappear without trace because they don't care. Some people they are more tactful to say sorry, but I think we have to take a break because I have at the moment I have other things in my mind. It's more respect for the other person that you was interacting, and you don't disappear like that. Especially, you can hear any kind of stories, but I mean this is my job with the tarots, and I would like always to give a reason to both of the persons, okay? Because sometimes there you have a people that is obsessed about that person. More the person rejects you, more that person is. And this is not anymore love. This is attachment. It's a spirit attachment. It's an entity that is conditioning your love. But this is not love, because love is happiness. It's freedom. It's
Yeah.
lightness. And these people are heavy, crying, and suffering. This is not
Dependent.
love. Yes, this is to be slave to a very uncomfortable feeling. And when you explain sometimes this, obviously trying, sometimes if they want to listen, because many people they are not hurry, they very analytical, they rationalize everything. Please, can you tell me that what he feels about me? So when I try to explain to them, they don't want to listen. They're not ready. And this
Right.
is not the person. Sometimes I can feel that the person that I'm reading the card is not always the victim, or is the one that needs help. Yes, needs help, but is the person that is causing this heaviness, even to the recipient, that he doesn't want nothing to do with that person. So sometimes even telepathically, when you connect, it is the right thing. But this is up to me, because if the person, even the way that approach me, she's very I can feel the you feel the
Yeah,
phone,
well, emotionally,
and
because you're
and
empathic.
and not surprised emotionally. Most of the time they are not well, so I have sometimes have to clean up my room because I feel this emotion thick.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, after they calm down a little bit, I make them breathe. They says, yes, I have this stomach ache, I have this problem to my back. Because in the beginning they are so tense and so full of anger. Okay? Because anger and sadness are two emotions that they basically, they use.
Yeah,
Yeah,
entangled a lot. They.
yeah,
Yeah.
and again, everything is we can heal, but are you ready to heal? Are you ready to
Mm-hmm.
listen? Are you ready to accept? Are you ready to move on and allow yourself to be really happy? Because this is not happiness. So yes, it's interesting. I'm so glad I interact with so many people around the world, and sometimes I speak with so beautiful, beautiful soul that really I'm learning from them, and they listen to you, not because I'm the person that is speaking in that moment, but I'm channeling with somebody that is speaking with them, that
Right.
want to send a message. And that is so beautiful. Sometimes I feel even emotional, but sometimes you have these entities that they move the curtains of the mind,
Right.
and they are intruder through the person which is starting to insulting you. Oh, you're not good. Sorry, I don't understand. The other day I spoke with a client which I know my English has a very strong Italian accent. I understand that. Sometimes it's like I have to find a word, but even in Italian sometimes, oh, I can find the word in Italian. So it's almost, and she says, sorry, I don't understand you.
It's normal.
And I repeated and I was trying to say jokes, to try to say, some forms to make things, like, sometimes I use a terminology, your heart is like a mountain. And this person was probably thinking about a mountain. What is a mountain? It's like, it was okay. I says, do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? I'm sorry, it's your accent. And then I was a bit uncomfortable because usually I don't have any problem. And this girl, she was completely cut off. She before she contacted me, she was not even ready to have a phone call because she was full of anger. She was a passive aggressive, basically.
Mm,
And she's not the one that is insulting you to say, oh, so you are crap, you are this. She was more, sorry, I don't understand you.
mm-hmm.
This is a way to say, because I didn't give to her what she wanted to hear, the answer that she wanted at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like this anger which is inside, yeah? It is bubbling.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting. I learned quite a lot through my readings, especially with the people. And yes, I'm using these telepathy skills that I learned, which I'm studying right now. You guys know that I'm studying past life regression therapy. And
Yep.
in my videos, I'm working with the emotions, which there is a bit of exoteric and a bit of, energy healing same time. And this is just I'm experimental all the time, because remember, every person that you will go into regress and connect is like open another door in another house. Every house is not the same. And
Yeah.
you basically I like to sometimes to improvise. Many people, maybe they're not ready to see entities. This is why the telepath is quite important in some cases, because many people,
Right.
they maybe not open
Energies
up
or yeah,
Yeah.
to
they're
some people
scared. So.
scared. Yeah, very
Well, yeah,
scared. Yeah.
inevitably, the entities are an expression of their unconscious, something suppressed. Basically, it's the same as in all dis-ease. It's just an emotion that wasn't acknowledged. And I think those entities are a manifestation, maybe even more deeply unconscious, something that was buried somewhat outside of their body. Do you see how physical illness becomes buried in the body? And
Mm-hmm.
I think that entities are something that's buried outside of their body. They've denied something so firmly that it didn't get a place in the world. They decided they didn't believe in it, but it was still there. So they're suddenly blind to it, but it's still there. And so it manifests. There's a seemingly outside attack. I think that's the actual creation of such entities is a deep denial of whatever feeling, often something from someone else. I don't like that person's aggression. I'm just going to shut them out of my life. But that energy is still manifest in some form, and I think that's how entities are actually made. We are the creators, as you said earlier, Oksana, and I think that's almost certainly the foundation of maybe all entities, but certainly some. I've seen that clearly. Emotional manifest.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the soul, we actually, what we do is why we do it, because we need to learn something via interaction with others, and others learn from us, and we learn from our clients, right? So we kind of like contribute to it's beneficial for everybody at the end, and it doesn't matter how you see it, how you view it. The end result is what you understand about yourself, because everybody's like a different, he has different ideas, understandings, rules, regulations, and his own energy space, his own truths, right? We can't agree on the true, very, it's just like it's different, always different. So that's why it's good to hear different opinions, collect them all, and whatever you can resonate with, you can pick and choose, and that's totally fine. People should understand that. I mean, people always try to agree on something one, but you can never agree on something one, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it's
So
very
that's
important. Very important to be open enough to even respect the way they perceive the universe, because
mm,
sometimes you
mm,
can learn for the perception. In fact, everything that I'm using now is everything I learned in the past. And I can tell you
mm,
something. I remember I sent you the video of this lady that she talked about aliens and ET entities, etc. So that she makes a individual description of all these we call beings. But she says the beings apparently this incarnated. They says I they they don't understand why we fight with each other because humanity, we can be billions around the world, but apparently we are only one.
yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah.
love this when she said that because if you
yeah,
think every organ in our body has their own work, yeah, we have cells, we have
Brilliant.
blood, everything. If when
Brilliant.
one of yeah when one part of our body start to don't work in synchronization with all the part of our body, is somebody that is rebelling.
Right.
And in my mind trips, I thought this is what we do in our society when we have people that try to attack another group of people. So it's like, okay, today the group of the liver is against the lungs. And
Right.
today we're going to poison in the blood, the rivers, the climate. I mean, and we reflect in what, example, if I now slap you, I'm slapping myself because we
Right.
are all one. And
yes,
basically, all this, what can I say, uh, this ability that we are receiving now in these big waves of change, the wind of change that we talked the other day, Mardi, is
Right.
because a part of us wants heal, and another part of us is he wants the disease because they are self-inflicting pain. So when I do something bad to another person, another human, another soul, a brother or sister, I'm inflicting pain to myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
the
it's
first
like
you have from
I cut myself in my body and doing things. I drinking, I kill my liver. And this is what I perceive in a big scale the humanity when we are fighting with each other, or because we are one. In the end of the day, we are
Yeah.
split in cells.
Right. That's true.
I
Yeah.
don't know. This is what I just perceived the other day, and now
yeah,
I don't know. Sometimes makes sense for me. I don't know. Like I said,
Yeah.
is a different ways to perceive our experience in this world. Okay, and
Right.
everything that I learn and still agree for since I born is if you do something wrong or you inflict pain to another person is wrong. So I believe that is the good and is the bad for a reason, because look, we have two hands, we have two holes in the nose, two eyes, two legs, two hands, because we have a duality, and we have to
Mm.
balance. Our sight has to be balanced. When I walk, I have to be balanced. So you can't understand if it's the good in you if you don't. There is not the bad. So we have to balance all the emotions like a traffic light.
Yeah.
Red, yellow, green. Now you can go. Now you can stop. Yellow is let's see around. I don't know if he.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he's. I'm too complex now. The way I explain in.
No, I think, we can probably. I'm sorry. I think I have to go. My husband and the kids. I'm sorry,
It's
but
okay. We are
yeah, I
having
think
like 5 minutes. Yeah,
yeah, I
5 minutes.
think
Yeah, we're going.
this is enough for the first part. Maybe for everybody who's gonna watch us, maybe they can write down in comments what they think.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know
It can be
what their own tools are. I mean, there's so many modalities. Somebody,
exactly.
it's good to have them all on the table so you can choose.
Yes, please write down a comment, and I would like you guys to remember that Oksana, she has her own channel. Is Oksana Buchanan? Yeah, I pronounce well.
Yeah, Oksana Buchanan, yeah, regressive hypnosis. But I'll give you I can put all the information
Yeah,
in
yes.
the
We
under
we
the
have all the
video.
information in the video, and then we have
Mhm.
Marty Williams. He has his own
Thank
channel, and please go and have a look to their work, their videos, and obviously put like and subscribe. All right, guys, time to go.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.
Ciao.
thanks.